everybody, it's Emily at Arg Schooling, and today I want to talk about what I'll be reading for my 12 recommendations from 12 friends. So I did this not this year, but the year before, and it didn't work out as well as I had hoped, but I feel a bit more confident in my ability to make this happen. So this year I will be once more attempting to do 12 recommendations from 12 friends. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to recommend me some books, and you came through. I had more than 12, and so I had to go through and really I wanted to focus on things that sounded like a book that I definitely was going to enjoy, because something that I absolutely hate is reading a book that was recommended to me and then not liking it, because it makes me feel bad. Like, you went out of your way to tell me that this was a book you think I would like, and then I didn't like it. So I was very careful in choosing from your recommendations. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through. Basically, my plan for this is to literally read one of these each month. So I think I'm gonna put the titles on little slips of paper and put them in a mug or a jar or something. And then when I do my TBR jar selection, I will also be choosing one of these books. That way, I'm not... Last time I didn't go in with a plan, and I ended up not reading more than 2 of the books, and I felt really bad about it. So this time I'm going to be intentional. So I'll be choosing one book per month to go into my TBR. So let's just talk about the recommendations. So Dino Reader recommended Several People Are Typing. This is by Calvin Kasulki, I think is how you say the name. I'm not sure. But this has been on my list of things I wanted to pick up for a while anyway. I've just been really intrigued by it. This is a story told almost entirely in text, I think. So texting back and forth, in a office chat. And that just sounds so weird, but also it'll read really fast. And I just feel like this is a book that I've seen so many people mention and talk about and loving, so I really have been wanting to pick it up. But of course my library doesn't have it. I can't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it in any of the audiobook things I use. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm just gonna have to go ahead and buy a copy of it at this point, because I'm frustrated that I can't find it anywhere. But I really wanted to read it. Like I said, I don't really know anything else about the plot besides that this is all an office chat told in text, and I just think that sounds intriguing. Erica Beth May recommended The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. This cover just is everything. I really, as soon as I saw the book cover, I was in. But also, this just sounds like a story. It's a young adult. This is a story about a girl whose sister has gone missing, but other girls have been going missing, so this is an ongoing problem in their town. This is a contemporary fantasy, I think. So it sounds interesting. Like a book that I might potentially love. So I'm hopeful that I will in fact like this. The cover's so cool looking. I love that. I love it. So I hope the book is as good as its cover. Next, Fireflies in the Forest recommended I read The Obelisk Gate. They actually recommended the 5th season, but I've already read the 5th season, so I was like, I've been meaning to read the next book in that series. It's a trilogy. I've never gone beyond the first book. And I've been really wanting to push myself to read it. So I'm going to read The Obelisk Gate, which is book 2 in the Broken Earth trilogy. I'll be honest, the first book was a challenge for me. I struggle a lot with fantasy. I find the world building hard to grasp when I'm reading. It's so weird for me, because I can absolutely get into a fantasy TV show with zero problem. The words though, it's the words. Reading a fantasy, it takes me forever to picture the world and understand it. So I struggled through the 5th season. I didn't dislike it. I thought once I finished it, I was like, wow, that was good, but I feel dumb. So I'm like, maybe I'll understand more if I read the next book. So that's something I'm gonna push myself to do this year. Then Laura Loves Chris recommended, did I read Abigail Hall by Lauren A. Forey. Again, this cover, so pretty. I love the colors. This one is like a gothic story, I think, and it's set during World War II. So right there, gothic, World War II, I'm in. I don't even know what the story is going to be about. Like, I don't know the plot. I haven't read into it at all, but I just feel like that right away. I've never even heard of this book, so I have nothing going into it, but I feel like that is sort of a niche that I will always enjoy, so I'm hopeful that I'm gonna like this one. Next, Moonbear 5 recommended The Ogress and the Orphans by Kelly Barnhill. This is a book I already own, so bonus points there. I have it on my shelf. Same with The Obelisk Gate. I already own those, so it's always nice when somebody recommends me a book that I own, because then I don't have to like look for it. This one is a middle grade, and it's about children who are orphans, and they are not afraid of this witch woman who lives like on the outskirts of the woods, but everyone in the town is afraid of her and they think she's a monster, and that's really all I know. I mean, it sounds like a book I'm gonna like. It's a middle grade. It's kind of cozy, I think. So I'm excited to get to it, because I've been saying for ages, like, I pre-ordered this book. It came out at least a year ago. I'm not great at reading the things I pre-order, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna try. Carly Canyon recommended A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Again, I have this on my shelves, and I've been really wanting to pick it up. Like, this has been calling to, ever since I read Babel, which I don't read a lot of dark academia, but now I wish that I did, because I absolutely love Babel, and I've been saying since then that I really want to read more in that genre. So when she recommended Deadly Education to me, I was like, yes, I'm gonna get to it. It's gonna happen. So this is a story set in a school. I think it's like something to do with magic. That's all I really know, but like, I've been really, really intrigued. I've heard very mixed reviews though. I feel like you either absolutely love it or you didn't like it at all. So like, I'm really curious to see where I fall on that spectrum. I kind of feel like I'm gonna be in the love it category, but we'll see. But I am excited to finally have a reason to pick it up. Sarah recommended a book for me. I asked if she had any recommendations, if she wanted to add something, because she's always trying to get me to pick things up that she loves. So Sarah recommended me Woman Eating, a literary vampire novel. This is by Clara Coda, and I'm so glad that this is what she recommended, because it's a book that I had been wanting to pick up. I don't own it, but I think I have the ebook, possibly. I feel like I at some point it was on sale and I downloaded it. But this is a story about a woman who is a vampire, and like, I think this is something that falls into the like cozy horror category. It's very feminist. It's a vampire story, but it's more literary. Like, I feel like this could be a very big hit or miss. Like, I don't know which it's gonna be. I'm hoping it's a hit, but we'll find out. But I've been hearing so many people talk about this book, and I've been really wanting to pick it up. So thank you, Sarah. Winter River Homeschool recommended Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig. I don't know anything about this book, but I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how good it is, and Chuck Wendig is an author that I have like been absolutely determined to read. Like, I really need to read something that he has written. I follow him on social media. He's great. I love his content there, and I'm like, why have I not read one of your books? So I've been trying to make that happen, but like, it just never works out for whatever reason. Like, not even that I've tried and didn't finish, I've just never picked anything up. So that's gonna change in 2024. I am determined. I'm going to read this book, and I feel like I will potentially love it. But I don't know what it's about at all. Something to do with apples. That's all I've gathered. but like haunted apples, I think. Creepy apples. Dark and spooky atmospheric apples. Amy at Homeschool Life recommended me a book that I'm just like so excited to read. and that is Hey Hun, Sales, Sisterhood, Supremacy, and Other Lies Behind Multi-Level Marketing. And this is by Emily Lynn Paulson. And let me tell you, I am obsessed with this concept. I really want to read this book. I watched, I don't even remember what it was called, the documentary on Amazon at the beginning of the year about LuLaRoe. Is it LuLaRoe? The leggings company. And I was so just like sucked into that. Like I could not stop watching. I've known many people to get into these multi-level marketing companies, and like I have a lot of thoughts that I'm not going to go into right now, but this book could potentially be like a favorite of the year. I feel like it's just something that I think I would really enjoy reading. And I always want to read more nonfiction, so I'm so glad Amy recommended me a nonfiction book. Radical Academicals recommended Queen Hereafter. This is a novel of Lady Macbeth by Isabel Schuler. This was already on my radar. I was already like, I need to read this book. I don't really know. I can't really tell you a whole lot about it besides the obvious. It's a Lady Macbeth story. I think this is sort of like a reimagining of Lady Macbeth, like her whole life story. Kind of like how Circe was written. And if that is what this is, I am so in. Like this is exactly the kind of thing I eat up. Like I love this. So Macbeth is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so anytime I see anything related to that, I get excited. Okay, Occasionally Educational recommended Lesser Known Monsters of the 21st Century. This is by Kim Fu, and I have never heard of this book, but this cover is absolutely stunning. I don't even know what this is. I don't know how to talk about what this is about. Hold on, I'm just going to read the synopsis. It says, in the 12 unforgettable tales of lesser-known monsters of the 21st century, the strange is made familiar and the familiar strange, such that a girl growing wings on her legs feels like an ordinary rite of passage, while a bug-infested house becomes an impossible Kafkaesque nightmare. Each story builds a new world all its own. A group of children steal a haunted doll. A runaway bride encounters a sea monster. A vendor sells toy boxes that seemingly control the passage of time. An insomniac is seduced by the Sandman. These visions of modern life wrestle with themes of death and technological consequence, guilt and sexuality, and unmask the contradictions that exist within all of us. This sounds really, really good, but also I'm slightly intimidated because I feel like this is going to be like one of those books that is like really smart and deep and intellectual. And my brain doesn't always want to go there. So I'm hoping, though, that this is good. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. This sounds amazing. I really want to read more short fiction going into the new year. Like, this is something that I always say that I like. I always say I enjoy short stories, but I'm not always great at actually picking up short story collections. So I'm glad somebody recommended that to me because now it's going to push me to read one. And the last book I'll talk about was recommended by Lauren B.S. Books, and it's A Curious Beginning. This is a Veronica Speedwell mystery by Deanna Rayborn. I don't read a lot of mysteries. Like, this is not a genre that I typically would pick up, and I almost dismissed it because I was like, I don't really do mysteries. But I have been wanting to try my hand again at reading mysteries because I also said the same thing about thrillers, but I have actually enjoyed a few thrillers this year. So maybe I just haven't picked up the right mysteries. But also, this is Victorian London. So if I was ever going to like a mystery, it would probably be one set in Victorian London, right? Like, that's generally a thing I like. So this one is about a woman who's also really into science. So like Victorian London, a woman who wants to be a scientist. Yeah, those check some boxes for me. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe I'll have found the right mystery for me. So I'm kind of excited to read this. So those are the books that 12 of you recommended to me. Thank you so much for giving me these recommendations. I'm really looking forward to reading all 12 of these books in 2024. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Happy reading. Bye!